What's going on, Lakers Nation? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, your ultimate destination for everything purple and gold. I'm here bringing you the latest breaking news, exclusive insider information, and in-depth analysis on our beloved Los Angeles Lakers. Today I've got something that's going to blow your mind, something that could completely transform this franchise and catapult us straight into championship contention in a way we haven't seen in years. This isn't just another trade speculation or roster rumor. This is about a legitimate superstar, a generational talent, someone who's already proven he can lead a team to an NBA championship, and the possibility that he could be wearing a Lakers jersey sooner than anyone thinks. I need you to stick with me through every single detail of this breakdown because what I'm about to share is going to have massive implications for how we approach the rest of this season and beyond. Let me start by giving you the context of where we are right now as a franchise, because understanding our current position is crucial to appreciating just how significant this potential move could be. The Los Angeles Lakers just claimed the number 2 spot in the Western Conference following an absolutely thrilling 112-108 victory over the Philadelphia 76ers this past Sunday night. That wasn't just any win. That was a statement game, the kind of performance that shows we're not just competing, we're dominating. We're 17-6 right now, Lakers faithful, and we've won 9 of our last 11 games. Let that sink in for a moment, 9 out of 11. That's the kind of consistency and excellence that championship teams display, and the reason we're playing at this elite level is because we've got a big three that's absolutely cooking right now. Austin Reaves has transformed into a legitimate star, the kind of player who can take over games in the fourth quarter and make winning plays on both ends of the floor. Luka Doncic, who we acquired back in February, has brought an entirely new dimension to our offense with his elite playmaking, scoring ability, and basketball IQ that's off the charts. And then there's LeBron James, the king himself, who continues to defy Father Time and play at an MVP level, even as he approaches his 40th birthday. These three guys have formed a chemistry that's been absolutely lethal, and opponents around the league are struggling to find answers for how to stop us when we're firing on all cylinders. But here's the thing, and this is where it gets really interesting. Despite all the success we're having right now, despite sitting at number 2 in the West, despite having a big three that can compete with anyone in the league, the organization knows we're still one blockbuster move away from truly maximizing our championship window. We're good right now, really good. But are we good enough to beat a healthy Denver Nuggets team in a 7-game series? Are we good enough to go toe-to-toe with the Boston Celtics in the finals? Those are the questions that keep Rob Pelinka up at night, and those are the questions that are driving the front office to explore every possible avenue to upgrade this roster. And that brings me to the heart of what I need to tell you today, the development that has the potential to completely reshape the landscape of the NBA and establish the Lakers as the overwhelming favorites to win the championship. There's a disgruntled superstar playing for a team that's struggling to find its identity this season, a player who's won MVP awards, a player who's already delivered a championship to his franchise, a player who's widely considered one of the 5 best basketball players on the planet. And according to credible sources, this player is not happy with his current situation and has been actively exploring the possibility of a trade to a contender where he can compete for championships year after year. Now, before I reveal who we're talking about, let me give you some additional context that makes this situation even more compelling. A few months ago, this player made it clear to people within his organization that he wanted to be traded. His first choice was actually the New York Knicks, which makes sense given the market size and the Knicks' recent resurgence as a competitive team in the Eastern Conference. But here's where things got interesting. The Knicks were approached about a potential deal, and they were willing to discuss it, but they wouldn't move off their position regarding what they were willing to offer. They would not include more than just Karl Anthony Towns in any package, and that simply wasn't going to be enough for the team that owns this player's rights to even consider pulling the trigger on a trade of this magnitude. So the Knicks option fell through, which opened the door for other contenders to enter the conversation. And this is where things get absolutely wild for us as Lakers fans. According to Lou Canellis from Fox 32 Chicago, who broke this story on 670 The Score last Thursday, the Los Angeles Lakers inquired about this player's availability. But it gets even better than that. Luka Doncic himself personally reached out and inquired, trying to see if the Lakers could work out a deal with this player's current team. Let me repeat that because it's so important. Luka Doncic, our superstar acquisition from earlier this year, personally got involved in trying to recruit this player to Los Angeles. That tells you everything you need to know about how serious this possibility is and how badly Luka wants to team up with this particular talent. Now, the player we're talking about wants to leave his current situation because he wants to win. He's tired of being on a team that's underperforming, tired of carrying the load night after night without adequate support, tired of seeing his prime years slip away while his team struggles to make meaningful progress in the playoffs. He's made it abundantly clear that his priority is competing for championships, and he's willing to force his way to a contender if that's what it takes to achieve his goals. So who is this generational superstar that could be headed to Los Angeles? Who is this player that Luka Doncic is personally recruiting? Who is this MVP caliber talent that could form the most dominant big three in the entire NBA? Lakers Nation, I'm talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yes, you heard that correctly, the Greek freak himself. The two-time MVP, the NBA champion, the Defensive Player of the Year. One of the most physically dominant players the league has ever seen. Giannis Antetokounmpo could be coming to the Los Angeles Lakers. Let me tell you why this makes so much sense from every possible angle. First, let's talk about Giannis's current situation in Milwaukee. The Bucks are struggling this season. They've lost key pieces from their championship core. They're dealing with injuries and inconsistency. They're not the juggernaut they once were, and Giannis can see the writing on the wall. He's 30 years old now, which means he's right in the prime of his career. And he doesn't have time to wait around for Milwaukee to figure things out. He wants to compete for titles right now, not 3 or 4 years from now after a lengthy rebuild. Second, let's talk about fit. Imagine Giannis Antetokounmpo playing alongside Luka Doncic and LeBron James. Think about the matchup nightmares that would create for opposing defenses. You've got Luka running the offense, creating shots for everyone, breaking down defenses with his elite playmaking and scoring ability. You've got LeBron operating as a point forward, using his basketball IQ and court vision to find the open man and make the right play every single time down the floor. And then you've got Giannis, the most physically dominant force in basketball, attacking the rim, finishing through contact, protecting the rim on defense, and giving you elite two-way production every single night. That's not just a big three. That's a super team that would instantly become the favorites to win the championship. Third, let's talk about the Lakers' ability to actually pull off this trade. According to reports, Los Angeles has the best asset for a potential trade involving Giannis, and that asset is Austin Reaves. Now, I know what you're thinking. Austin Reaves has been incredible for us this season. He's developed into an all-star caliber player. He's beloved by Lakers fans. The idea of trading him is painful to even consider. But here's the reality. If you have the opportunity to acquire Giannis Antetokounmpo, you do it without hesitation. Giannis is a once-in-a-lifetime type of athlete who's already proven he can be the best player on a championship team. Austin Reaves is fantastic, and he has a bright future ahead of him, but he's not Giannis Antetokounmpo. Nobody is. The Lakers have shown throughout this season that they're willing to do whatever it takes to maximize Luka Doncic's window of opportunity. When we acquired Luka back in February, the front office immediately went to work surrounding him with complementary pieces. We signed Marcus Smart in free agency to give us elite perimeter defense and another playmaker who can handle the ball and create for others. We brought in DeAndre Ayton to give us a legitimate rim protector and rebounder who can also score efficiently around the basket. Those moves showed a clear commitment to building a championship contender around Luka, and there's every reason to believe that commitment would extend to pursuing Giannis if the opportunity presents itself. Now, let's talk about what a potential trade package might look like. Milwaukee would obviously want significant value in return for Giannis, and any deal would likely have to be built around Austin Reaves as the centerpiece. But it wouldn't stop there. The Bucks would probably demand multiple first-round draft picks, potentially some pick swaps, and additional young players or rotation pieces to help them rebuild. A realistic package might be something like Austin Reaves, Rui Hachimura, Max Christie, and 3 unprotected first-round picks, plus 2 pick swaps. That's a massive haul, the kind of package that would gut our depth and eliminate our ability to make moves in the draft for years to come. But again, if you're getting Giannis Antetokounmpo in return, you make that trade every single time. Think about what our starting lineup would look like after a trade like this. You'd have Luka Doncic running the point, giving you elite playmaking and scoring from the guard position. You'd have shooting and defense on the wings, potentially guys like Cam Reddish or whoever we managed to keep after the trade. You'd have LeBron James at the forward spot, still playing at an incredibly high level and providing leadership and clutch performance when it matters most. You'd have Giannis Antetokounmpo at power forward, giving you the most dominant two-way force in basketball. And you'd have DeAndre Ayton at center, protecting the rim and cleaning up the glass. That's a starting 5 that could legitimately go toe-to-toe with any team in NBA history. The offensive potential of a Luka-LeBron-Giannis trio is almost unfathomable. Luka and LeBron are 2 of the best passers in the league, which means Giannis would be getting the ball in positions where he can attack the rim and finish with authority. Giannis's presence would also open up the floor for Luka and LeBron to operate, because defenses couldn't afford to help off Giannis without giving up easy dunks and layups. And in transition, forget about it. With Giannis running the floor, LeBron pushing the pace, and Luka orchestrating everything, we'd be absolutely unstoppable in the open court. Defensively, this team would be a nightmare for opponents. Giannis is one of the best defenders in the league, capable of guarding multiple positions and protecting the rim at an elite level. Pair him with DeAndre Ayton, and you've got a front court that can shut down the paint and make life miserable for opposing big men. Add in Marcus Smart's perimeter defense and LeBron's ability to still make winning defensive plays when locked in, and you've got a team that can get stops when it matters most. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking this sounds too good to be true, that there's no way Milwaukee would actually trade Giannis, especially to a Western Conference rival like the Lakers. But here's the thing. If Giannis is truly unhappy and has made it clear he wants out, the Bucks don't have much leverage. They can either trade him now and get significant value in return, or they can hold on to him and risk him leaving in free agency for nothing. That's not really a choice. Smart organizations understand that when a superstar wants out, you maximize your return and move on. There's also the question of whether the Lakers would actually be willing to part with Austin Reaves, who's become such an integral part of what we're building here. And honestly, I think the answer is yes. Rob Pelinka and the front office understand that championship windows are fleeting, especially when you have a player like LeBron James, who's in the twilight of his career. You can't waste these opportunities. If trading Reaves means you get to pair LeBron and Luka with Giannis Antetokounmpo and create a legitimate dynasty, you make that move without hesitation. Reaves will have a great career wherever he ends up, but the Lakers' priority has to be winning championships, and Giannis gives us the best chance to do that. Let's also talk about the timeline here. According to the reports, Giannis wanted to be traded a few months ago, which means this has been brewing for a while. The fact that the Lakers have already inquired and that Luka has personally gotten involved suggests that there's real momentum building toward a potential deal. Now, trades of this magnitude don't happen overnight. There are salary cap complications to work through, trade restrictions to navigate, and negotiations that can take weeks or even months to finalize. But the foundation is there. The interest is mutual. Giannis wants to win, the Lakers want to add another superstar, and Luka is actively recruiting him to come to Los Angeles. The other factor working in our favor is that we're actually winning right now. We're not some struggling team trying to convince a superstar to join a rebuild. We're the number 2 seed in the Western Conference, with a legitimate chance to compete for a championship this season, even without Giannis. That makes us an attractive destination because Giannis knows he'd be joining a team that's already built to win, not a team that's hoping to figure things out over the next few years. He could come to Los Angeles and immediately compete for a title, which is exactly what he wants at this stage of his career. I also want to address the elephant in the room, which is the question of how 3 ball-dominant superstars would coexist on the same team. It's a legitimate concern. Luka needs the ball in his hands to be effective. LeBron has always been at his best as a primary playmaker. And Giannis, while he's improved his passing over the years, is most effective when he's attacking the rim and playing downhill. How would all 3 of those guys fit together without stepping on each other's toes? Well, I think the answer is that championship teams figure it out. Look at the Golden State Warriors when they had Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. Everyone said there weren't enough shots to go around, that egos would get in the way, that it wouldn't work. And then they went out and won back-to-back championships. Great players find ways to make it work because winning is more important than individual statistics. In this case, I think you'd see Luka operating as the primary ball handler in the half-court, orchestrating the offense and getting everyone involved. LeBron would slide into more of a secondary playmaking role, similar to what he did in Miami when he played alongside Dwyane Wade. And Giannis would be the ultimate finisher, the guy who's attacking the rim, rolling to the basket, and cleaning up on the offensive glass. In transition, all 3 of them would be threats to push the pace and create easy baskets. And in crunch time, you'd have 3 guys who can create their own shot and make plays when the game is on the line. That's not a weakness. That's an embarrassment of riches. The financial aspect of this is also worth discussing. Giannis is making significant money on his current contract and adding his salary to a roster that already includes max deals. For LeBron, Luka would create some serious luxury tax implications. The Lakers would be looking at one of the highest payrolls in NBA history, and the luxury tax bill would be astronomical. But here's the thing, the Lakers are one of the wealthiest franchises in professional sports, and ownership has shown a willingness to spend whatever it takes to compete for championships. If the price of contending for multiple titles is paying a massive luxury tax bill, that's a price the organization should be willing to pay. That's the kind of situation that makes you proud to be a Lakers fan. Whether or not the Giannis trade actually happens, we're in a position to compete for championships, and that's all we can ask for. If you want to stay up to date on all the latest Lakers news, trade rumors, and insider analysis, make sure you're subscribed to Lakers News Fan Report. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video, and give this one a thumbs up if you enjoyed the breakdown. We're here every single day, bringing you the content you need to stay informed and engaged with everything happening in Lakerland. Thanks for watching, and as always, let's go. Lakers!